What is up, guys? Welcome to my latest video. This is a lot later than I intended it to be. Just this week's been a bit hectic and a bit emotional, and so I've not got around to filming it. I've managed to get plenty of stuff watched prior to recording this. I've got this review, my SummerSlam review, and I've watched 3 Ring of Honor events recently, so I've got those to review, film, and then I'll be putting those up. So yeah, I apologize for this video being late, but like I said, it's just been a bit of a hectic week. So that being said, I will get on with it and give you my thoughts on NXT Takeover Toronto 2. So the opening match was the Street Profits for the Undisputed Era versus the Undisputed Era, for the NXT tag titles. I wasn't 100% behind this being the opening match. I thought it should maybe have been later on the card, but it was an amazing opening match. It absolutely kicked the show off with a bang. The only downside to me was the result, that Fish and O'Reilly didn't win, but like I said, other than that, absolutely great match. Plenty of back and forth, so yeah, can't complain. Like I said, apart from the result. Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. To me, this should have been the opening match, given that it's just like a bit of a grudge match thing. But yeah, it wasn't anything major storyline wise. It's like a bit of a grudge match and everything, but I found it to be another really good match. The ending seemed a bit flat to me, but I suppose obviously they're building Io Shirai up again for another title shot at Baszler. So yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a decent match. Pete Dunne versus Roderick Strong versus Velveteen Dream for the North American title. Now, I was pulling for Pete Dunne in this one, despite being a massive Undisputed Era fan. But obviously, so if Strong had won, I'd have been happy with that. Really enjoyed this match, but I thought Velveteen Dream's win was pretty cheap. It just kind of took the edge off everything for me. The match was really good, and then that ending just seemed to take the shine off it. I mean, I suppose it's one of those things you got to do to win and everything, but it just didn't seem right. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Strong or Dunne, hopefully Dunne, will get a one-on-one match against Dream for the title and beat him, because I'm sorry, but I'm still not a massive Velveteen Dream fan. I mean, like I've said before, the guy can wrestle and he puts on a good show, but to me, it's just it's getting a bit boring now. Speaking of boring, Shayna Baszler defended her women's title against Mia Yim. Really good match. Mia Yim's, she seemed to have a game plan, everything going into it, and they did really well, focusing on her arm, Baszler's arm, so that she couldn't put the submission on. And it looked like Mia Yim was going to win, but no, Shayna Baszler retained. I thought Mia Yim was absolutely amazing. She genuinely looked like a really good threat, and she genuinely looked like she was going to take the title, but, it is what it is, and somebody needs to take the title off Baszler now, because, like I said, it's just getting boring now. To me, Baszler just doesn't have any charisma. She's got the charisma of a wet mop. But, obviously there's a plan for keeping the belt on her for this long, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, 2 out of 3 falls for the NXT Championship. I can't even talk. Holy shit, that is about all I can think of to say about this match. The first fall, obviously the regular wrestling match, was really good. Gargano's logic in getting himself DQ seemed a bit weird, but then obviously it played into the fact that that meant then he could illegally use the chair in the second fall, which was the street fight, and obviously the third being the cage with the weapons and everything, and the rule of no escape, you can only win by pin or submission, added that element of difference to it, really, because usually a cage match you can get out and win, but the victory by pin or submission element really added an edge to it. And I absolutely love this match. I mean, obviously this was the main event, and it was the one that I was looking forward to. And I cannot say enough good things about this match. Those two guys destroyed each other, and it had everything. Obviously, Adam Cole retained. I need to get the new T-shirt. But yeah, this were better than anything I've seen from the main roster, and I'm pretty sure that. Yeah, no, it did. This were better than any of the matches at SummerSlam. I will say that now. That it was better than anything from SummerSlam. But yeah, and on a personal note, from all the matches I've seen with Adam Cole in, this may be my favourite Adam Cole match, and it could be the best match I've ever seen him have. And he's had some really good matches. But yeah, there's nothing on SummerSlam that beat this match. This absolutely blew it away. And again, NXT absolutely kicked ass. SummerSlam was nowhere near as good as Takeover, and I'll do my SummerSlam. I might as well do my SummerSlam review now, actually, because it'll save messing around doing two videos and everything. So I'll go straight into SummerSlam 2019. My thoughts. Like I said, to me, NXT was the better show, and again, it usually is. So the opening match we had was Becky versus Natalya, a submission match for the Raw Women's title. I didn't agree with Becky coming out first because she's champion. She should come out second. But then I understood that, Natalya were the hometown hero, as it were, and she didn't quite get the sort of reaction I expected from the crowd. I mean, they seemed a bit more lively during the match, but when she came out, it just didn't seem that loud. But it might have just been, the sound in the arena or anything. But I was expecting it to really, go off. But there seemed to be a lot more Becky chants at points. But yeah, it was a reasonable opening match. I didn't think for 1 minute that Natalya was going to win. To me, it never seemed like she were a genuine threat to the title, and I don't think that's a good thing. I think your challengers should always look like they could do it, whereas even when Natalya and Becky in the sharpshooter, I was never in any doubt that Becky was going to retain. So to me, that kind of took the edge off that match. But it was a good match. It was a good opening match. And yeah, I was happy with the result. Goldberg versus Dolph Ziggler. Now, I'd seen the build-up to this, obviously for the recaps, and I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't think it would be that quick. I mean, like, right from the bell, Ziggler super kicked Goldberg, and he went straight for the pin, and I was like, no way they're going to do the reverse of Goldberg flattening Lesnar. Wasn't to be. And then, obviously, Goldberg speared Ziggler, nearly split him in half. I had to rephrase that, sounded a bit wrong. But yeah, and then Ziggler started running his mouth. Goldberg went back down, hit him again and again, and then he went up out, and then Ziggler started running his mouth again, so Goldberg came right back down and just absolutely destroyed him. It was just it was funny. I thought it was funny, and Ziggler just looked a proper numpty, to quote a very good English wrestler. Ricochet versus AJ Styles was the next match for the US title. I was expecting something amazing from this match, and while I think it was a good match, I think they could have done a lot more. I think the Ziggler-Goldberg match, even though the match itself was short, I think the afters that went on, the time that took, could have been added to this match and could have let them have a lot more time to do something a lot better. I say it was a good match, but I expected a hell of a lot better from those two. Although I was happy with the result because, I'm an AJ Styles fan, so yeah, AJ retained, and the OC, as they're calling themselves now, have got gold. Well, silver in the tag titles case, but yeah. So yeah, I was quite happy with that match. Ember Moon versus Bayley for the SmackDown Women's title. Another match I wasn't really sure what to expect. It was a decent match, not special, but there plenty of back and forth, near falls, etc. And obviously Bayley retained, but yeah, it was what it was. All right. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon. Obviously, KO loses. He quit WWE. Now, obviously, this whole story is just a rehash of Austin and Vince. But but it's like the diet version of it, or the, McMahon Owens is the, the Austin McMahon light. It's just not as good because obviously they can't get away with as much as Austin and Mr. McMahon could back then. But I do know that when I was watching it, I noted that Kevin Owens was saying that the fans, were sick of the WWE giving them stuff that they don't want, and I thought it were quite good that they let him say that, and they are kind of acknowledging that maybe it isn't what everybody wants to see. Shane having Elias come out as the guest enforcer, guaranteed that there was going to be shenanigans in the match, and there was, but it didn't ruin anything. Other than that, I can't really say much more about it. It was what it was. Owens, I believe, won with stunner. So it was what it was. Quite an enjoyable match. Charlotte versus Trish. The first thing I noticed when Charlotte was in the ring was that it looked like she had some really dodgy facial surgery. She just looked really different. I don't know if it was just me or whether she has, or it might have just been some dodgy camera angles, but she just didn't look. She looked weird. Probably no surprise to anybody who's been watching my channel for a while that I was actually pulling for Trish in this. I was seriously pissed at the result. I mean, obviously I know Trish is a legend, Charlotte's career's going on and everything, but I mean, a loss at SummerSlam wouldn't have gone against Charlotte too bad, especially not against Trish. It just seems that WWE are just getting legends and just jobbing them out to people who are, well, not jobbing them out, but having them lose to people. Like, it's the whole Angle Baron Corbin. There's no way that Baron Corbin should have beat Angle, and I don't believe for 1 minute that Kurt Angle wanted to wrestle Baron Corbin. But Charlotte won. I was pissed at that. I'm just bored of Charlotte Flair now. Orton versus Kofi Kingston for the WWE Championship. First thing I'm going to say is, oh my god, Xavier Woods looked a right tool with his hair like that. He just looked ridiculous. I was just like, what the hell? I've never been a fan of Xavier Woods, and it was like, you just really just look a dick. The match itself was alright till the ending where Orton went out and he sort of gave the eye to Kingston's family, and Kofi just went mental. The crowd nailed it with the bullshit chant. It was absolutely bullshit. They were cheated out of a match there, but again, it is what it is. Finn Balor versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, whatever. Another quick match, not much really to say. I do like Wyatt's mask. Theme song, it's pretty cool how they've just sort of changed it. His original song. I mean, a new one completely would have been better. And I do believe he did ask for a new theme song, but I don't know what happened, whether he got shot down or what. But I mean, there were no doubt that Fiend were going to win. Debut match at pay-per-view. I just feel sorry for Finn Balor. First Universal Champion, and now he's just losing to people left, right and centre. I mean, he's added in a Continental title run and everything, but it's just so wasted there. They really need to get on something with him. Rollins versus Lesnar for the Universal Championship. Now, I know a friend of mine, Mr. Bones, was absolutely pulling for Brock Lesnar to pull Seth Rollins' head off. But it wasn't to be. I think this was probably the best match of the night. I know a lot of people probably didn't like it, but I enjoyed it, and I was really happy with the result. I'm so glad Seth won the belt. Hopefully now Lesnar will piss off and ride off into the sunset, and we won't see him again, because quite frankly, you need a champion who's going to be on TV every week and not just got a contract for so many pay-per-view appearances and then a couple of Raw appearances here and there. So I was happy with the fact that Seth was champion. I know a lot of people have been moaning that he's such a boring champion and everything, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to go well. I think a possible heel turn might do him a bit of good, but we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Overall, I wasn't really blown away by SummerSlam. It was pretty average overall. NXT, like I said, Takeover was miles better again, and I'll be honest, a well, I've watched two, sorry, out of the three Ring of Honor pay-per-views from the last few months, and the two I've watched were miles better than SummerSlam. Absolutely miles better than SummerSlam. So I'll be doing a review for those. So then anybody who hasn't seen them, go check them out. But yeah, I just thought SummerSlam was just pretty average overall. Nothing special. Nothing about it blew me away. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's my review of NXT Takeover Toronto and SummerSlam. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. As always, thank you to those who've subscribed to my channel. It means a lot. I've noticed my subscriber numbers have gone up over the past month or so. So that's a positive. It means more people are watching, subscribing, obviously. I've got another restoned belt video that will be going up soon. I'm just, obviously, like I've said, it's been a bit hectic and what have you this week, so I've got a lot of recording to do, and then I'm going to get all the videos, sorted, and then there might be a barrage of them. I've got some more Slipknot album reviews to do. Obviously, the deadline for doing them before the new album release caught up with me and overtook me, so there's that. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of stuff coming up soon, and like I said, there might be a bit of a barrage. The DVD Blu-ray purchases I might have to double up in September. The wrestling one I will be doubling up because I only got like one wrestling DVD in July, whereas I've got some more coming. So, and you'll notice a bit of a theme about them when I do the video. But yeah, that'll do it for this one, guys. Before I start rambling on. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Please feel free to leave a like or comment. Tell me what you guys thought. Which one you thought were better, NXT or SummerSlam. Which matches you really enjoyed. Which ones you thought were crap. Whatever. Just any sort of comments or anything like that is appreciated. But for now, guys, that'll do it. As always, take care of yourselves and bye for now.